So we're live. Welcome everybody to another episode of Westpark Lives, and welcome to my guest, one of the longest serving members here in Westpark, Margaret O'Connor. How are you?
Oh, you better believe it.
How's things?
I'm good, yeah. Good, yeah.
You said something to me when we were chatting about this interview about your man himself, Kevin Doyle.
Oh, yeah, Kevin.
You knew him when he was a boy.
He was only a boy, 19 or 20, well, he wasn't a little kid, he was a kid.
Yeah.
Right, but a lovely kid.
A lovely kid.
Yeah, and he chats to you, and he'd be running around doing things.
That's how I see him.
Do you still see him like that?
That's exactly how I see him.
He's always busy.
Busy.
Yeah, so I just said to myself about him, and even his class at the time was brilliant, right?
Right, what was he doing at the time? Aerobic classes?
No, yeah, and he was doing, he likes his spinning.
Loves his spinning.
Loves his spinning.
So even back then?
Oh yeah, he did that.
Now that's nice. So what was he, 19 and a half? The half is important.
Oh yeah, he could have been the half, or he could have been the 20. We'll give him 20.
Give him 20?
Yeah. We'll give him 20.
Because he hasn't wore it well.
Oh, he has. I think he looks great.
He can take a joke.
But,
can I ask you, that's going back, you're talking 89, 90. Yeah. Different era.
Yeah.
Different generation for sure. My experience with gyms then my experience, more male dominated, more geared towards the male. Did you find that in Westpark or?
No, Maggie didn't have that.
See?
In Westpark, because she was a woman, maybe, I don't know.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
But it was, there was a lot of females there, up there. But just talking about Kevin, I could see potential in him.
In him from day one.
Yeah, and I knew he would do well.
Has he paid you out now to talk on this interview?
No.
It's not Nixers, huh?
No, I haven't got it Nixer.
He has great potential.
No, he had great, and I knew he'd achieve anything he wanted to. Yeah. I just knew.
Yeah, you knew it then even.
Yeah, I even knew it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. The gym up in Village Green at the time, it was real cozy gym.
Yeah.
That's the only way, but the layout, Maggie plans things great.
Right.
And the layout of that gym with the space she acquired was absolutely fabulous.
Well, and again, that ethos, if I remember this rightly, because we're talking about Kevin and you brought in Maggie, the owner. When I was talking to him before doing our interview, we were talking about the background. And he said Maggie became a fitness trainer and found it difficult to get work in that environment. So she said, well, here, I'll open my own gym. So that ethos of the holistic approach to keeping the balance, that obviously worked. Because I remember gyms then, they weren't as there were.
But it was lovely. And then when you finished your gym, we used to come out, they were I can't explain, there was a line there and a bit there. And we used to have coffee or tea.
Yeah. And
I'd sit beside her and I'd be chatting away to Maggie.
Yeah.
You know, at the time.
Yeah.
Chatting, and I knew in my heart that there was bigger things ahead for her.
Yeah, you can sense that with people, can't you?
Yeah.
You know, you can sense the ambition, if you like. We'll come back to that in a sec, but where are you living now? Where are you based?
Oh, I'm in Kingswood.
Kingswood, are you there long?
Yeah, I'm there 20 odd years.
And family?
I have 2 children of my own. I have a hubby as well.
Have you? Norman, I believe is his name. I hope he's watching. Lucky man.
Yeah. I have Norman and I have my own 2.
Yeah.
And I inherited the family.
Right.
Yeah, well, how I inherited them is a friend. She had cancer. And she had 5 young children and a lovely husband. Right. And he was great with the kids.
Right.
And at the time, I think they needed space. He needed to get his head around what was happening.
Yeah.
So she wanted him to go back to work.
Yeah.
But she had lovely siblings, but they had children going to school as well. So my children were older. They were the same age as her older 2.
Yeah. So
her husband said, you wouldn't be able to step in. I said, yeah, of course.
To give a hand.
While, you know, with the kids getting them out. And, you know, there was a baby too.
I know you love kids.
I love kids, yeah. And God, I fell in love with them. I fell in love with the kids, and I fell in love with her. She was a beautiful woman.
Ah, that's lovely,
and she
Margaret.
had a lovely husband. She had a lovely, dedicated husband. And he's still alive.
Yeah.
You know, he's still kicking.
Still kicking.
We're still great friends. We're still really close.
And you're great for that. So that's 7 children, you 2 of your own and 5 that you're helping out and looking after. As you said, you inherited.
The bond deepened. We kind of joined up nearly as a family.
Yeah.
Do you know that
Yours
way?
and you, theirs and theirs.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant thing. And that's an early thing to do, which was not uncommon. And it isn't uncommon in Ireland. It wasn't uncommon back in the day either. It's not that long ago, I know.
No.
It's brilliant though, but it's...
But anyway, I gained loads, and they all loved me.
Yeah.
And the daughter in the family, when she had a baby, when they got married and she had a baby, she said when I went, they called me over to the house because she knows that I'm like, if she rings me, I say yes or no.
Mm.
And when I went over, her and her husband is lovely as well. And they said to me, would you do godmother it was to keep the bond.
Keep it going.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I said, go out with that. I'm in my 40s, get someone young. Sure, they be my grandchildren. I'll treat them exactly the same as I have 8 grandchildren, my own, and a great-grandson. And I said, they be treated exactly the same.
That's brilliant, Margaret.
Which they are. Yeah. And she said, well, I want you. She was adamant. And I said, okay.
How many years in total were you looking at? Were you there to help with this inherited family?
I was there.
And you're still there now.
A few years, but we're kind of entwined.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
I mean, if there was anything wrong with me, they'd be up around my doorstep.
Yeah.
And the daughter is nearer to me. I could walk to her.
Yeah.
And hop in, for a cup of tea. And then if she's baking, she might throw me something to bring home. Do you know this way?
Yeah.
You know?
Like you, Margaret, that's something I didn't know about you.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of other people didn't know either.
Yeah.
Because you just got on with it.
Yeah, but it was...
That's the kind of girl.
But I loved them, you see.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I can sense that.
Yeah.
Come here. You're in Kingswood, but where did you grow up?
In Drimnagh.
Drimnagh.
Yeah.
That was the countryside for us city folk when you were...
Yeah. Well, I moved into Drimnagh, I was 3, 1950.
Yeah.
And I was absolutely... out of 6 of us in family, 6 kids. Now, there was 4 when we moved in, and then she had 2 more, Mum. But it was a magical place to live.
Yeah.
Because there was loads of kids. Everybody had kids.
Yeah.
Do you know this way?
Yeah.
And it was just magical. And we used to play out. We played outdoors. I mean, we didn't have loads of toys around like that. So we played outdoors.
Kick the can, rounders.
We played and skipping.
Yeah.
And then one day, the men off the road, he worked in Guinness's. I shouldn't say this. And he used to bring home the Guinness's rope for a swing around the lamppost.
The rope for the barges.
No, it is,
yeah.
For the swing around the lamppost. We used to have a ball, you know.
We had a ball. We used to do it ourselves.
And then in the winter time, if you remember, I don't know, you're younger than me.
Yeah.
But in the winter, you know the way we had bad winters.
Yeah.
And then we'd make a big huge slide.
That's Margaret, we done all those things. 100%.
And we used to slide down the, we'd be sliding. She'd be out there for hours.
And you'd be in I don't know where Ladies' Hospital was then, but there was more was went to our Ladies' Hospital.
That was up the road, so it was just as well, because we were letting on, we were in the skate.
Banging your elbows, banging your knees, stitches, noses. Brilliant.
Yeah.
They were great days.
Yeah, but we did that. And then it was brilliant at Christmas time and all, you know, with neighbours.
Yeah.
And then Mum would bring us in to see Santi.
Yeah.
In Cleary's.
Yeah, Santi.
Did you go Cleary's?
Switzers.
Oh, you were posh. We went to Cleary's. And we'd go in there and she'd bring us in to see the lights.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was this guy, I'd never forget him, and he was in, and it stuck in my brain.
Yeah.
And he'd get your cheeky Charlies.
I say that sometimes in the class lesson.
Right.
Get your cheeky Charlies. And they were wind up.
Yeah,
and they'd fly around on the breadboard.
Yeah.
They were selling them to dealers.
Yeah.
They were days, Margaret. They were days. You went to school then in Drimnagh?
Oh, I did. I went to Moran Road.
Yeah, and did you go right through school and straight into work? How did that work?
I went straight.
Did you leave early? A lot of people left kind of.
Well, we had 3 boys,
right,
and there was 3 girls
in your mummy's home, and daddy's home.
And so, as I said, I was the second in line.
Yeah.
So when my sister came along, and she didn't want to leave, I didn't want to leave when it came to my turn either. I loved it, and he said the same. He said to her, "Well, the 3 boys coming after you.
Yeah.
And, they might want to go to tech.
Yeah.
Or we don't know what they want to do.
Yeah.
So you'd help your mum out if you went to work."
Yeah. Sorry, Margaret. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to close that window. This is a very organic podcast we do, because I can hear the noise of the traffic. Now, it shouldn't pick it up.
But
sorry, Margaret. We're back. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I didn't want to leave school either. And I said it to my dad, and he said, "Well, unfortunately,
yeah,
we have the boys, and it meant that you would get more things. Mum would have more."
It was a common thing then.
It was for all.
Yeah,
because you were there to help.
Yeah,
this way.
Women were. It's not necessarily that.
Boys had to be looked after.
Yeah.
In the education.
Silly little country of ours,
I know, but
that was the norm.
That was the way it was.
A lot of households, and most girls either went into work, and then I believe you worked in the public service. If you got married, you had to leave.
Yeah. Well, what happened? I went back to school in 1990. I fulfilled what I want. Do you know the way you say I have a brain?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went back. And when I got all my results, I went down to my dad, and I said, "Look, Dad."
Yeah.
With that, he gave me a big hug. He said,
delighted.
"I knew.
Yeah.
You could do that."
Yeah.
He said, "You can do anything you want to do."
Yeah.
And he said, "It's the cap and gown for you next."
Yeah. Your degree.
Yeah.
Fair play to you, Margaret. That's because they were times it was
hard times.
Hard times.
You think about it, when my sister worked, we got a television, a first telly. And then when I worked, Mum was able to get in a phone because she had family in England, her sisters.
Yeah.
And we got a radiogram.
Did you have people coming in from wanting to use the phone?
Yeah.
So did we. And some wouldn't leave the few bob. You never asked.
Yeah, no. Well,
but you knew it was such and such wasn't going to leave the few bob. You hear your ma saying it,
Yeah, but that's how you got a bit posh.
Yeah.
So you got that, and we got a radiogram. So I was able to buy records and play them because I loved music. I loved Elvis.
Right. Is that how you socialized? Like, how did you want to meet himself?
Oh yeah. What happened?
Because I know you told me you love ballads and stuff like that.
Yeah, I did. But how I met Norman was, I got the job in Higgins.
Right.
And now, by the way, my dad bought me a bike for to go because
you cycled everywhere.
Yeah, because it'd be so expensive to go. Paying for your transfer.
Yeah.
So it was on your bike to walk.
Yeah.
So I went into Higgins. That's nearly on the quays.
What did they do? They were
lampshades.
Lampshades.
Right. Yeah. So that's where I met himself. No.
In there, right?
He was a welder.
A colleague, a welder,
no,
right?
He was a welder.
Okay.
And anyway.
Lucky man. If you're listening.
He was blessed.
Oh, you
But
for sure.
Yeah, so that's where it began.
As in, you'd be going out as couples, as friends, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But before I met him, I met this girl, and she's my friend to this dying day, as we are. I go down to her Saturday. That's why I just say to you, have to run shops before I come to them.
Yeah.
Because we're 60 odd years together and still going strong.
Isn't it great?
Well, the way we just bonded more than that.
You tell each other, and then you can behave in any manner you want.
Yeah.
You're with your friends.
And I used to go down and stay with her during the week one night, and we go over to the Ballots over in Capel Street.
Capel Street, right, yeah.
Slattery's,
yeah. And then on up to the cobblestone then in the Smithfield, was that there then?
That was there as well. So we're all around, you know, all the different things.
Did you get to see, I know you would have seen it, you told me before, you said, Lukey, live.
I did, and Jim McCann, the Dubliners, as in Ronnie Drew.
Yeah, when it was his band.
Yeah. You know, at the time,
Margaret.
You saw loads.
You've seen them all?
Yeah, you saw loads, you know.
Wow.
And then we were in there one night in Capel Street, myself and my friend, and these gang of lads were there, and we didn't drink, we had an orange, and they insisted on buying it, and we said, oh no, honest God. So anyway, they did insist, they bought it for us. So we said, I don't like this situation, we get out.
Yeah.
So we said, we have to go to Tallaght. And he said, just go in pairs. We said, yeah, brought the bags. And we ran, he chased us all up
the jeepers.
Home. And we hid, because she lived in all her bonds, you were to run around the things.
Old school then.
As much to say, I bought you an orange, they didn't even get a kiss.
Good enough for them.
So, we didn't want one.
No. Where, I know when, but why Westpark? Why did you decide the gym? What happened?
Oh, there.
When you came here? Yeah.
What happened?
You said, I'm going to join you. Were you always in sport? Or?
Yeah. No, it didn't work out like that.
Right.
I was happy enough. I used to go for a run and whatever. Right. I was never in a gym in my life. Never, ever. So my son was in it, and he got me a membership for a Christmas present.
Right.
Well, you can't turn down a present.
Yeah.
So I said, oh, God, what's it going to be like?
Yeah.
So up I goes to the village green, and I went in.
Yeah.
And when I saw it was a woman, I couldn't believe it. I was absolutely over the moon.
Very important. As I mean, the trainer?
No, the owner.
The owner was a woman.
The owner was a woman.
It was present on the floor, obviously doing classes.
She was there. And I couldn't believe it. I was absolute, because we're going back to, it was a man's world then.
Man's world.
And a woman to achieve that in a man's world was absolutely unreal.
So that hooked you.
So I felt like giving her a big clap on the back.
Well done,
that
you.
way.
Yeah. That hooked you. And like, I know what you like about it, and I want to talk about it, but now, like, the programs have changed. But what you were here 7 days a week, 6 days a week. With my class now, it's 6.
Yeah, it's 6 with yours.
Yeah.
You roped me into that one.
You used to have your weekend.
I used to have my weekend free.
I'm here 6 days now because of it as well.
How are you?
No, but I'm here on Saturdays. What do you have a complete program?
I have.
You do the weights. I've seen you on treadmills.
Yeah, I told you, Maggie told me at the time when we used to have a coffee up there, she told me that she had, she told me about this, what our plans were, and it was going to be running in a while, and my God, couldn't believe it.
Came to fruition. Because you came from the old gym, which had, I think,
which was cozy,
probably 500 members or something.
Yeah.
To this place, which was 5,500 members.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I thought, when I walked in the door, when I came, I was brought over to see, a knowing in it, and I was saying, oh my God, how will this be filled? Yeah. My God, did she fill it?
That's people. Some people have that ability. She clearly had.
But you know what's great about this place? When you walk in the door here and the greeting you get at the desk, it's absolutely magic.
Yeah.
Down to everybody. And even if I meet Maria at the door and there she is washing the steps, you feel real guilty walking along because she's...
They're constantly washing. They're always clean.
The hygiene team are absolutely
I've said it many times, and we're not... This is our opinion, and this is your experience.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
And the girls,
They're brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Emma and Hazel, they said they're going to get me into what I call it the ice bath.
The ice bath,
They call it the brunch bowl.
Well, it'd be good for the health.
Yeah, but they're trying to get me in that. I should have brought me a swimsuit today. I could have got them in their uniforms. But
but there's You've a book club going on here as well, a few of you, haven't you? Which is something I didn't hear.
Well,
I'm not a member anyway.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Is your library ticket?
No. It's friends only.
Friends only.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're not included. And it's for women.
Women on. That's probably on those rom-coms and everything else. Is
no, I'll tell
Julie
you.
Cooper's.
Oh no, we do everything.
Everything.
We read anything.
Anything.
If you gave me a book, I'd read your book.
No bother.
So I've never bought a book.
Because
my sisters gave me books. Yeah. And now they're giving me books. Yeah. And even I was on the phone to Maura because her husband had a hip replacement. And she said, Margaret, I had a great book for you. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. Yeah. I said, I'll catch you when I'm going on a holiday eventually. Yeah. So. Brilliant.
Come here. Who does your program?
Oh, Lizzie.
Lizzie, right. Because I want to talk about program and diet. And you're doing weights and everything else. You'll go to Liz every...
Well, what happened...
Once you're with Lizzie, you're covered, you know.
Yeah. I do Lizzie's program. Yeah. No, I should have updated it. Right. She's going to kill me. Right. I should have updated, but I didn't. Yeah. Okay. So I'm doing exactly what she's telling me to do.
That's all you need.
Great, yeah. Because she's absolutely
the experience
brilliant.
Alone.
She's brilliant.
That she has. She's brilliant.
She's brilliant.
Now, does she cover diet? How are you?
I'm very good with my diet. Do you know why I'm very good with my diet? Because in our house in Drimnagh, I'm going back to that. Yeah. My dad grew vegetables and potatoes.
The long gardens.
Yeah.
The long gardens.
That's what we were raised on.
So did my mum as well, and her family, and she brought it up to Tallaght.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were raised from that.
From the garden. From the garden. Margaret, that was the original superfoods. They're what I call superfoods. Yeah. As little processing as possible and as much nutrients as from the garden to the table as quick as you can. And also, like, the food we were fed. I remember my mum, ox heart. Do you remember heart?
Yeah, we got that. That was our Sunday roast, and we got
what a meat.
Yeah, and we got ribs for our cabbage because that came from the garden.
That's all so-called high-end food now. Yeah, serving it in the top restaurant. You know, coddle. Yeah. Now, if you're a dog.
We had that once a week.
Once a week, we have a coddle. We had still that to this day. Yeah. If you're
I don't now.
Not now.
No, but I did then.
Yeah, right. Yeah. We lived by. Myself and Jacqueline went down to Glasnevin, the cemetery, and then the grave diggers beside it there, Cavans, isn't it? Yeah. And they do good food, high-end food apparently. Coddle on the menu. So Jacqueline, I have to try this. Bacon ribs.
Oh,
I've never heard of ribs in the coddle.
Heard of it.
Now it was nice.
Yeah.
But it's either bacon pieces or it's either ham pieces or rashers if there was no beef. Exactly. That's all your ma had.
And you could get coddle and rashers back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for the coddle, a bit of extra fat.
Yeah.
From Donnelly's, was it?
That's right.
Oh,
yeah.
Geez. That was the best of food.
It was.
Lamb's liver.
Yeah.
Full of nutrients. The top end bodybuilders and all eat that stuff now. We got it as norm.
Yeah.
Hard to get all that stuff. Tripe as well, Margaret. Tripe from the inside of the cow, the cow's tummy. Yeah. They were the good food. They were the superfoods.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you had your veg. If I don't get...
Oh, we always say, my dad had abundance of veg out in the garden. Loads of veg.
If I don't have 2 veg on my plate, I'm wondering what's wrong. Yeah. I always make sure if either I'm cooking or Jacqueline's cooking, we load up on the veg. I love to ask, this was a lovely, lovely chat with you, and we've covered a lot. And I know you have a lot of friends here in the gym, and I know you have your coffees.
Yeah.
Do you have a little snack to get you through?
Well, I've a voice. I love apple pie.
So do I.
Oh, do you?
We could be best mates.
Yeah.
And we've said it before. I know where you get it.
Apple tart, actually.
Apple tart.
Do you know my mammy used to bake them?
Yeah.
You know, for us as well.
Straight after the dinner, your ma be up baking for the tea.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
She didn't rest.
No.
And you'd have whatever apple pie is made for the tea.
And then we'd have rhubarb tart because rhubarb was out in the garden as well.
Couldn't bear Margaret.
No.
They were the superfoods and even the super desserts.
Yeah.
I love apple pie too. Was it Manning's?
Yeah. And then my daughter buys me an apple tart every week.
Still?
Every week she buys me an apple tart.
So that's your little
Yeah,
voice.
and if she's going away, she said, don't forget, Mum, I won't be getting the apple tart.
Come here. Do you have, because you have a book club, is there a favourite book? Is there?
No, years ago, you know when you were young, Little Women, what's her name? Leslie May.
I don't. I think it was Sinead Toy. That's her favourite book.
No,
as well.
yeah,
Sorry,
Leslie May. I forgot her surname. I'm very bad. That's very bad.
I've read the loads of books. I'm asking about the authors. But Little Women's your book. Have you a favourite movie?
Oh, do you know what I loved now? Do you remember Gone with the Wind? Did you see that?
I did. Loved it.
I thought
Sunday
that was
movie. Easter movie, Christmas movie.
It was a brilliant movie. I loved that.
Clark Gable. What was your woman's name?
Vivian Leigh.
I do remember it. That's one of your favourites?
One of my favourites. And I loved The King and I.
Two of them there is. You're talking about the original.
Oh, Hugh Brenner. Yeah.
Another good movie.
Yeah.
Musical.
It was music. I love musicals as well. Yeah. Sure. I used to bring the grandkids, and when they'd say to something on, and if there was music and singing, and I said, I love it. And then I know little words, and you'd be singing, and say, you're not allowed to sing in the cinema. They call it the cinema, we call it the pictures.
The pictures is what we call it. Yeah. And Margaret, that was a lovely, lovely chat. And I really enjoyed it. Really. Have you missed? Is there anyone you want to say hello to or?
No, I just want to tell Margaret Mooney she did a fabulous job.
Maggie. And hopefully we get you on this. Her story will be worth talking about.
Oh, would be, certainly.
Yeah.
Because this gym, it's state of the art, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's absolutely fabulous.
State of the art. And it comes right down then, the whole team. There's always something new.
Yeah.
And it trickles down.
Oh, it does, to them all.
Yeah. And I'm waxing on probably, but I do, from being in people work can be messy. You don't expect people to be in good form all the time, but they're always polite and always helpful.
Very.
And that you feel that you pick up on that.
And that's down to the hygiene as well.
Yeah.
They're always polite to you as well, but they're polite.
Yeah.
They're very polite.
I just had a chat with Ray there yesterday while he was working.
Yeah.
While he was working, he's chatting. He stops for a second.
Well, I go in, and if the girls are going to, there's a closet in the changing room, and they have music on in the changing rooms. And one day the Kinks came on, and I started singing it, and I was saying, "Are you right, girls?" And coming out, Anna's mad, right? And she said, "Oh yeah, I know that." And as she was passing me out, you know, with her booking and thing, there she is singing along the way.
It's a great spot.
It is, yeah.
Margaret, loved it. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate it.
Right, then.
And I'll just say goodbye and thanks to the guys. Thanks, guys, for listening. That was a great chat with Margaret, something I really enjoyed. And thanks for listening. Look forward to the next episode coming soon. Stay safe, train forever.